focus on exports and grow market share here on.
Well, this starts in the green. We're up close to around 20 points, but as expected, that's seeing some bit of a resistance. Remember, the final hour of trade yesterday was very, very good, but because of some averaging, we ended a little below that 18,500 odd mark. So things taking shape as we speak. What's doing well in trade today? Well, you have PB Fintech from the broader markets that's flying away. That's up another 4% odd. But from the frontline indices, the reason that we're holding in the green is a couple of these banking names are doing well. Axis Bank posts that analyst meet. Well, that's up close to around 1% or thereabouts. HCL Tech up close to 0.5%. And L&T up close to around 0.5% odd. On the flip side, Power Grid, BPCL, both of them are pulling back a little bit. And Divi's Laboratory as well, that was flirting with the 52-week low. Well, that's down close to around 0.5%. But clearly the actions in the broader markets, PB Fintech up 3.5%. Now GSPL, well, that's up close to around 2%. PNB looking at selling some part of the non-core investment that they have in UTI AMC. So that as well is up close to around 2% or thereabouts. On the flip side, well, you have a couple of those other names. Lupin, that Mandideep facility, wrap on the knuckles out there. That's down close to around 1%. HPCL is down close to around 1%. And AU Small Banks down close to around 0.5% odd. As we speak, on expected lines, the Nifty is down close to around 10 to around 15 points or thereabouts. So we have corrected close to around 50 points from the opening tick. Nothing really to worry. It'll be par for the course. The only problem is the FIs, the clients, everyone is net long. So, that's the only word of caution. No one's expecting a bit correction. But a 100, 200-point correction, well, that'll be par for the course. Prashant, so a stable opening is what we'll say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but to get to within 100 points of a new high and then pull back again, I mean, it's something to watch. But it's kind of flat again. I mean, the market started with a higher, and then, it would have been much better if you started a little lower and then moved up. But that's the reverse of what's happened now. Just a few names. I mean, so let's put up Infosys, TCS, HDFC Bank, and Reliance Industries. These are the 5 names which contributed about 70% of the push higher yesterday. So today, not very much. I mean, and the push all came after 3 o'clock. We'll see if there is this impulse towards the end of the session, or even maybe earlier than that. But for now, not very much at all. The broader markets, I mean, apart from what Nigel has already kind of alluded to, let me just see if I can pull up a few other names. It's still early, and I mean, I think volumes are still picking up, etc. So we'll have to give it some more time. And I guess we'll come back with more names in a bit from Nigel.
Just one more stock, ITDC, with regard to the Ashok Hotel. Well, the government has fixed around 7,400 crores as the indicative value for the hotel. We'll have to see how much they get, but that's sharply lower. The reserve price is sharply lower. Indicative price is sharply lower than what is much higher than what the current market capitalization is. So otherwise, a lowly traded stock, not a lot of liquidity. But for the time being, the street has taken that up close to around 7 to around 8%.
Okay, and we'll kind of look at that. We, by the way, put that question to DLF. I remember when the management had come in. DLF, of course, is one of the, perhaps an interested party, etc., but not very much clarity at that point in time. We'll look at more stocks in a bit from now, but Pramod Gubbi is a market master of the day. He's co-founder at Marcellus Investment Managers. Pramod, great to have you with us here on the program. Thank you very much. Slowly but surely, the index is heading to new highs, Pramod. How are things looking overall? And from the last time that we spoke, are there any sort of big portfolio ins and outs that you've made?
Thanks for having me here. Always a pleasure. So from a macro perspective, I think we've been talking about how India is standing out in the global situation, both from a capital flows as well as FDI flows perspective, partly because some of our own fundamentals are stacking up pretty well. At the same time, because of various geopolitical issues, India is seen as the most favored market and economy to invest in. Because of that, I think the flows this month are pretty much in line with the rest of the emerging markets back. We are not seeing a significant shift towards India yet. Perhaps that's a 2023 story. But like I said, it's not just the capital flows, even on the FDI side. You should expect significant investments coming in. So that's the brief on the macro side. From our perspective, like we've always discussed, Prashant, we don't change much too often. So I think since the time we spoke last, I don't think we've added nor exited anything of note. But the theme remains the same. We still wary about inflationary pressures coming in, although across commodities there's been some cooling off. But given the geopolitical situation globally, we reckon one should be prepared